Now, when I think of a side hustle, I'm thinking of something that I can go out and do right now to make some extra money. But the problem is that a lot of these videos on YouTube are giving a list of side hustles, but when you really break it down, it's going to need like a full-time attention to get some of these off the ground. And yeah, I think a lot of them are great if you have the time to do it, but I made just a small list of things that you could do right now to make some extra money. And the first one's going to be lawn care. Now, I know that this is extremely common, and you probably think that this is way oversaturated and you can't do it anymore. But the good thing is that lawn care isn't as common in the winter. So by the time spring rolls around, you have a lot of new, fresh entrepreneurs trying to go out and start their business. So you can easily grab a couple lawns if it's just something you want to do on the side. The best way to do it is just to create your own business cards or posters or whatever. Just throw them in mailboxes and just see what happens. Obviously, you can go door to door, and you could also extend this to do other things like clean up bushes or just some gardening around the house. But either way, I know a couple people who have just started doing this and are already doing it full time. And this is something that if you started it on the side, it can eventually turn into a full-time business later on if you just keep up with those clients. You'll have to figure out what other businesses charge for certain lawns around you, because it does depend on where you live with how much you can charge and stuff like that. Okay, and the next one is going to be anything outdoors, and this kind of ties along with lawn care, but this is just going to include some extra stuff. Like, I know there are people out there who clean trash cans full time. You can go into a rich neighborhood and just ask door to door if anyone needs their trash can cleaned. And eventually maybe you can keep up with some clients and just start doing them monthly. But that's a good one. You can also clean gutters, you can wash cars, any kind of cleaning or stuff that needs to be done outdoors that you can think of just off the top of your head. There are people who need that done and don't want to do it themselves. Now, another one maybe for the winter is hanging Christmas lights. There are a lot of people who need this stuff done and just don't want to do it themselves. As far as like the Christmas lights, I know that you can just ask to hang their own Christmas lights if they already have some. And I know some people who are charging like $300 per house, depending on the size. Obviously, power washing is great because you can do that in the winter as well. But a lot of things like cleaning and, like I mentioned earlier, gardening, maybe mulching, stuff like that is always a great option to go out and just do today, especially if you're in the summer. But like I said, in the winter, there are some other options as well. Now, one thing I want to mention is for lawn care and anything outdoors, you could also set up your phone and just record what you're doing, because a lot of people like to see stuff like this, especially if you put it on some kind of time lapse, and just keep posting online. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Create your own TikTok or Instagram account or whatever, and see if you can make some extra money from there as well. Now, number 3 is going to be furniture flipping. Now, this is great because you can get some really good finds on Facebook Marketplace. You can take them home for $100 or $200 maybe, and fix them up, paint them, put some new handles on it, whatever it is, and list it for a lot more. I've done some reselling in the past, and you should always list for as much as you think you can, and if it needs to be brought down the price, then you can always do that later. But I've seen people buy dressers for like $150 on Marketplace, fix it up, make it look real nice, maybe some paint and handles like I said, and then they'll list it on Marketplace again for like $750, and it will sell. So I know there are some people out there who do this full time. So if you're ever flipping through Marketplace and just see something that could really look nice if it was just cleaned up, then you should just go for it. And I should mention, this would also be great to record and put online, because I think a lot of people would like to see that. And another one is flipping cars. And I know you're going to need a little bit more of a budget for this, but I guess if you have the money and nothing really else going on, you could just buy a cheap car for $2 to $3 grand maybe. Figure out what's wrong with it, bring it home. You don't have to do anything crazy like paint it or anything like that, but just clean it up. I know some people who will buy some cars with no real problems with it, and they'll just clean it up and list it for like $1,000 more than what they bought it for, and it'll sell like that too. So it's not like you need to become some mechanic and just fix up some really old cars. You don't need to do anything like that. Just buy a car that needs a little bit of work to it and just needs some life put back into it, clean it up, and then just list it again. That is something you can also do in just one day. Maybe it'll take a couple weeks to sell, but I think that's pretty worth it. Now, another one I wasn't going to mention, but just reselling. You can do this with anything, and I'm not talking about anything specific, but whenever you see a deal for something and you feel like it would sell for a little more online, I mean, just try it, and then depending on what it is, maybe you can earn an extra $100 here and there. Now, obviously, there's a lot of stuff to do online. There's a lot of money to be made. A lot of it you've probably heard of by now, and there are just a lot of ways to make money online. And I think that everyone should do their research and just take advantage of anything that they can, because we're living kind of in a gold age where you can just go out and make money right now online, and it's kind of ridiculous. But for those who can't really focus on anything too crazy right now, I would just recommend doing stuff like this if you need just a little bit extra cash. These are the tried and true ways, and I just feel like they will always be here and always be things that people need. So yeah, that is it. This is a quick video today. I'm gonna be trying out more challenges like this in the future. So if you like this, you know what to do, and I will see you next time.